For the best African food in Denver, 5280 has you covered. They put together a list of the city's best African food restaurants, including people that with a world full of new flavor that you get to try out some new restaurants.
I mean, mouth-watering flavor.
Yeah.
We can smell it so good. One day they'll create smell-o-vision, and you can too, right? Here to talk more about the new guide is Ethan Pan, the associate food editor for 5280. Ethan, welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
We always love having you because you always bring delicious food with us. Tell us more a little bit about some of the African restaurants that are located out of the city center.
Yeah, no, so a lot of the restaurants that you'll find will be on, stretches of East Colfax into Aurora. Many of them are in Aurora, but, one of the restaurants that we have here today is in Lakewood. So you're gonna have to explore a little bit, but it's really well worth it to move out of the city center.
It seems like it.
Why did 5280 decide to find the best African restaurants?
It was something that I felt like was like due time. It's a part of our food scene that's relatively underrepresented in the media, but we figured there's so much delicious food that people might not necessarily have the ways to access just normally. By hopefully spotlighting these restaurants, brings more customers to them and also just gives people our audience a way to access them.
Absolutely, underrepresented, but there's so much of it, and it's all delicious too. Okay, is Ethiopian food perhaps the most represented type of food in Denver?
There's so many Ethiopian restaurants. I was really shocked when I moved here how many there were, but there's probably like 15 plus. Some of the other cuisines that are represented here don't have as large of communities, but there's a really large Ethiopian immigrant community here that really makes that up.
So today we are highlighting a couple of the restaurants that made it on the list. It smells so good in here. So walk us through what you brought.
Yeah, so over here we have a food truck called Taste of Soweto. It's a South African food truck by Mpo and Ocean Mapulo, and they brought a smattering of their food truck options. So they call it Kalahari Wurst. It's a South African sausage that they do on a roll. And then they have a very famous hot sauce from Southern Africa called peri peri. So they do it as chicken wings on the truck. And then on top here, there's a chicken curry stew that they serve with in bread, which is like
I'm salivating over here. This looks so good.
So if you're in City Park in the summer, this is a great place to hit up.
Awesome.
But over here we have African Grill and Bar. So they are set up over in Lakewood. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary this summer.
Great.
It's a big, they're such a stalwart of the community. And so they brought a shakalaka, which is actually a South African dish, although they hail, the owners, Theodore and Sylvester Osei-Forduo, they hail from Ghana. So they're from West Africa, but they like to have a little bit of everything at their menu.
Cool.
Jollof rice, samosas, plantains, and then fufu, which is you got to eat it with your hands though, over there.
You don't have to tempt me with a good time, except you did buy me an apron for my birthday, and I left it in the newsroom. So now I'm like, oh no.
You would need that apron if you're going to eat that with your hands.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty good with this.
You're going to get it on the
right
wings?
here. Yeah, this one looks good.
While he chows down, I love that you mentioned that there are food truck options as well, not only just brick and mortar. So that's a lot of options out there.
Almost all of these spots are immigrant run, and for food trucks are a way to get into the door without all of the capital that brick and mortar requires. So you'll find a lot of really innovative and interesting food just in general at the food trucks.
Ethan, you are not lying. This is
spicy.
It's delicious. I mean, maybe the spice will kick in a little bit later and I'll be hurting, but right now,
it does smell good. All right, so tell us a little bit about where people can find the list of all of the items that you guys picked.
Yeah, so the best way to find it is on 5280.com. Denver's Best African Food is the name of the story. So just Google it, click on it, give it a good scan, and get out there.